that you have time to hit Success Club. You know, I think a lot of times coaches are like, oh, it's, you know, it's coming in a month, and instead of putting the foot on the gas, they take the foot off the gas. And you really need to understand that Success Club is a mindset. Diamond is a mindset. Ellen's going to talk a lot about that tonight. So let me get through the recognition so we can get Ellen on. Success Club 5, so straight to Success Club 6, we have Sarah Grundy, Jennifer Bush, Cameron Zimick, Kelly Zielinski, Ashley Williams, Claudia Walker, Lori Schwartz, Laura Swan, Carly Smith, Melanie Shipper, Hannah Roberts, Sarah Roberts, Amanda Rakowski, Brianna Ostrich, Chelsea Muselin, Melissa Miles, Lucy McLaughlin, Karen McCormack, Jessica Maxzinski, Beth Kruzicki, Danny Clark, Catherine Hernandez, Guinea Harrison, Julian Hammond, Kayla Gunther, Courtney Grayshop, Sam Gorey, Katie Goon, Angela Fox, Susan Doyle, Kate Davies, Caress Cooper, Danielle Bramson, Cami Allen, Raina Aguilera. 7 points, Amber Zumwalt. 8 points, Karen Anderson, Suzanne Smith, Tracy Ray, Heather Parrish, Elizabeth Mach, Margaret Marlowe, Jasmine Jones, Jacqueline Hughes, Megan Holmes, Heather Guthrie, Susan Geffner, Carrie Galugi, Sierra Centenari, Kelly Carlson, Christy Campbell, Danny Campbell, Ellen Broen, and Stephanie Berkeley. So there's a lot of you there. There's like almost like 20 of you that only need to sell one more Success Club, one more challenge pack to get to Success Club 10. And like all the rest of you are like so close. So just make it your goal to like push a little bit harder. And if you're not on this board, make it your goal to be on this board next week. While everybody else is on the Success Club trip, it should be even more motivation for you to understand that like you could be on the Success Club trip with us if you would just get on this board every single month, and then you would earn an all expenses paid vacation for you +1 as well. If you didn't realize that's where everybody is going, is everybody's going to the Dominican Republic on an all expenses paid vacation to an all-inclusive resort for them plus a guest, and we're all going to hang out and celebrate our, you know, our businesses and our hard work, and just really connect and bond as a team and as a community, and do workouts with a new super trainer, Chris Downing, and Joel and Jericho. If you're on the Coral Wave, we get Joel and Jericho. If you're on the Teal Wave, you get Autumn Calabrese. So I'm really stoked that I get to hang out with Joel and Jericho because they're my friends. And just realize that, you know, like this should be motivation for you to get off the wait list. And the only way that you can get on the Success Club trip is if you're hitting Success Club points all year long, because they invite the top Success Club point earners off of the wait list first, and they invite Success Club All-Stars off the wait list first, and they invite elite and premier coaches off the wait list first as well. So those are different ways in which you can get on the Success Club trip and be with us next year or the year after. Okay, I think that's it. So I just want to, so let me make, I'm going to kind of just like give Ellen an intro really quick. So Ellen went diamond today, and we've been working together for a while now. I know she was on my team cup. I think you were on my team cup team last time. The Ellens, there's so many Ellens, but she has been working really hard. She works full time, and she earned the Success Club trip, so she will be on the Teal Wave. And you know, she's proof that you can work full time and build this business. And the reason why I asked Ellen to speak tonight, not only because she's diamond, like diamond is just a rank, but I wanted her to speak about what happened as to why she went diamond. Because I think a lot of people think like, oh, you know, it took time, or it took a certain amount of invites and a certain amount of this, which is all very true. But I know in Ellen's case, it was mindset. And that is the case with every single person that goes diamond. They will tell you that it's a matter of just deciding that you're going to make it happen, making a date, and making it happen by that date. And a lot of coaches are popping diamond right now because of Diamond Dash, and because there was a goal date, and there was a prize at the end of the pot and at the end of the rainbow. And a lot of times, like the prize that we get with this business is not tangible. it's more like visual. It's something that you're visualizing. Are you visualizing being able to be debt free, or buy your dream car, or retire your parents, or travel the world, or I don't know, like whatever your dream is? It's not tangible. Like, you don't get it like deposited into your bank account. Nobody hands it to you, and you don't really know when it's going to happen. It's just kind of one of those things where you just kind of work and then wait and work and wait and work and wait and have patience and faith. But what I do know is that, like, one of the reasons why a lot of people are going diamond is because there was a prize pot, there was a date buy, and that really helps people. And so what you need to do in order to achieve the goals that you want to achieve with the business, whether it's Success Club or Emerald or Diamond or Elite, or if you want to fire your boss, or if you want to put away, like, you know, savings for a rainy day fund or college education for your kids, that is all stuff that you need to make a goal date by and make happen. I know for me and Kevin, like, we've made a lot of financial gains in the last year. We weren't really good with our money, and last year we decided to buckle down and start adulting for real. And we paid off over $80,000 in student loans and became debt free. And this year we've really gotten ahead in our finances, and really you're starting to feel like some success with that in that area. But it's taken time, and it didn't happen overnight, because we needed to have goals, and we needed to have, like, you know, a direction in which to go. And that's what goals get you, and that's what a mindset gets you. It gets you into the direction that you need to go, and then it's going to take you working day in and day out to visualize how that's going to make you feel when you achieve that. So when you achieve being debt free, how is that going to feel? Being completely, you know, financially set for life. How is that going to make you feel? Not ever having to worry about bills, not ever having to worry about finances ever again. Could you imagine how that feels? Have you ever sat back and just been like, oh my God, like, you can just feel the stress just go away? It's literally what happens. Like, and I can tell you that from personal experience, like, being negative paycheck to paycheck, being up to my ears in student loan debt and credit card debt, to being at a point where I'm finally achieving being financially free and financial independence from anybody. It's just like completely a complete, like, something that I want everybody to experience. And you have to take the time to visualize how that's going to feel. You know, I took the time when I was a new coach to visualize how I feel. I actually did a post today on my Instagram. I would like for you guys to go read it, on Amy Silverman Fitness, about, you know, at my Turbo Fire workout this morning, I was doing Fire 60, and at one point Shalene's like, punch the horizon. And I was like, oh my God, like, I'm fucking literally punching the ocean horizon from my back deck in my house. And I always use the horizon as like a target point. If there's like a little boat, I'll use it as a target to punch, or if there's like a wave, I'll use it as a target to punch. And when she said that, I almost like started crying, because I remember when I first did Turbo Fire back in 2011 when I was a new coach, and I was doing it in between going to work and going to school and homework and bills and stress and my new puppy and I was had my relationship and I just had all this stuff going on, and my life was so stressful, and I just wanted this to work so bad, and I just wanted to be a full-time coach so bad, and I just wanted this dream reality that I saw all these other coaches doing. And I used to use the corners of my house as, you know, when I punched as my horizon lines. And when she said that, I got so emotional, I got so fired up, because I remember how far I've come in my life just because I decided to say not just yes to this opportunity, but to actually work the business for real and actually to make it happen. I just want you to know that it's possible. I want you to know that if I can do it, you can do it too. And when you start to see other coaches and other people be successful in the business, and when you read all these success stories with the business, I just hope you understand that they're just normal everyday people. And that's why the Success Club trip is so powerful, because you guys are going to meet people who you follow on social media that you look up to and that look like these like celebrities and these stars and these people who have achieved these things you can never imagine. And you're going to meet them, and they're just going to be normal everyday people. And it's going to help you to realize that if they can do it, you can do it too. And I know a lot of you guys are going to meet me for the first time and hang out with me for the first time, and I'm not that impressive. And I really hope that you understand that if I can do it, you can do it too. So with that, I'm going to make Ellen a presenter and let her do her training or for the next however long she wants. She has a little over 30 minutes. So however long you want to take, you could also open it up for Q&A if you want. It's completely up to you. So I just promoted her to panelist. There you are. Hey. All right, I'm going to hop off and just let you take it away, okay?
Oh, okay, thanks. Okay, hi guys. Oh my God, you should first off know I'm nervous. But I made a little screen, so I'm going to share my screen to help keep me on track and to help bring you guys the best possible content. Okay. So thank you, Amy, for that introduction. I'm going to talk to you guys about locking in a business mindset, how to, okay, I need to like chill. How to ditch the hobby coach activities and really step it up in order to whatever goal you're shooting for. If that's diamond right now, how to lock that in by using your business mindset. So first off, a little backstory about me and how I got to diamond. So my diamond, when I popped diamond, was actually for the first time was at the end of December, and then I lost it. I didn't even hit the 6 weeks. I think I lost it 5 weeks in. And I remember that feeling of like, this is going to crush me. This is going to totally take me out of the game, because Amy knows that I have like my mindset can come and go. And I knew that I either had to build on this loss or I was going to be swallowed up by it. So that is when I really understood the importance of channeling not just a positive mindset and not just like a forward thinking mindset, but a real deal business mindset. So point one, learn from failure and move on. That is what I had to do. I had to take ownership of the fact that I lost my diamond, and I needed to just move on. Like, it was done and over with, and I needed to find the momentum to keep moving forward rather than resting on an excuse to quit. So that's a little story about my diamond, how I got it back. I actually came back with a vengeance. I remember Amy posted in the Set Your Soul on Fire Diamond group, which once you hit diamond, you'll be able to be in this group with all these amazing leaders. So that's just another incentive to hit diamond. And she posted in there, if you are no longer diamond, I'm going to remove you from this group. And little old me, I was not diamond yet again. I still hadn't gotten it back. And when she said that, I was like, oh, hell no. I'm getting my diamond back. I will do whatever it takes. So building momentum and not resting on your excuses. And then, so to go a little bit further, okay, let me just like get my mind on what I was going to say. So, and if you're in the new Diamond Dash with all these insane leaders and insane training, there's a hashtag that is some will, some won't, who cares, who's next. And I think this is from Raina or someone, but it is something that I have been living and breathing by. I think a lot of times when people don't have a business mindset, they let those no's really affect them. And they let them totally take over their train of thought, totally derail them from where they're trying to go. So every time you get a no, you want to think of the hashtag, some will, some won't, who cares, who's next. You have to understand that to get to yeses, you have to take no's. It's a part of the business, and you have to understand this is a business. This is not like for fun. This is the real deal business. So you're going to have some rejection, and you're just going to have to remember that those little failures, which I would not even consider a no a failure, is just something you have to accept, move on, and who's next. Another point about learning from failure and moving on is storefront businesses. Think it's very hard to get out of that coaching mindset sometimes. So notice that I don't say I have a coaching mindset. I say I have a business mindset. I like to think like a real business owner. So I know Moira used to have a juicing business. So if Moira didn't have such a successful day at her business, she's not going to close the doors and say, I quit. I can't do this anymore. I didn't have a customer come in. She's going to sit down and figure out why she didn't have a customer come into her store that day. And then she's going to go balls to the wall to make sure she sure as hell does the next day. that's how you got to think about this business. Is if you don't hit Success Club 1 month, it should not be, I didn't hit Success Club, I'm clearly not cut out to do this, I need to quit. It should be, what happened in my conversations, what didn't I do, what could I do better, and then move forward. And also, the thing about success that I think is very hard to channel when you're in this coaching business is that success and the climb is not pretty. I don't think regular business owners that own storefronts compare themselves to like the business next door. Like if you work at Wendy's and you see the Taco Bell next door, you're not like, oh my God, that person went in there today and they didn't come here today. When you're in the coaching world, sometimes you look at your peers and you say, well, that person is ranked here and I'm ranked here and I started before them. Why is that? You have to take that comparison game out of it and run your business the way you do. So the climb is going to be different for all of us, and it's not going to be pretty for all. It's going to be up and down. So to illustrate that, I'm sure you have seen these graphics floating around social media. I actually had the iceberg illusion saved as my screensaver when I had lost my diamond. So let me make sure I'm staying on track. So first, I'm just going to really quickly read to you guys. I know you can read this, but I'm just going to read it over on the image on the left. And I want you to not, when I'm reading this, I want you to really like resonate with it and let it sink in. If Thomas Edison threw his hands up and gave up after 9,999 failures, there would be no light bulb. If Howard Schultz gave up after being turned down by banks 242 times, there would be no Starbucks. If Walt Disney quit too soon after his theme park concept was trashed 302 times, there would be no Disneyland. If J.K. Rowling stopped after being turned down by multiple publishers for years, there would be no Harry Potter. You guys, you have to understand, these people had belief, massive belief, and they took massive action. They put their credibility on the line. They put their everything about them as a human being on the line because they persisted until they were heard, because they believed in what they were being persistent about. Success is earned, not given. You are not just going to get success because you signed up on Amy's amazing Set Your Soul on Fire team. You are not just going to get success because you are a Beachbody coach. It is earned. And every single person that has gotten to a success point in this business, just like in any business, earned it. So this iceberg illusion on the right was my best friend when I lost my diamond. And I like to picture little Amy Silverman was that top peak of the iceberg. And she was my vision of success. But what I didn't see, and what probably a lot of us don't see when we see top coaches or diamond coaches or star diamond coaches or people in the Millionaire Club, is what's below the water. What it took, what it takes to be successful. Dedication, hard work, discipline, disappointment, sacrifice, failure, and persistence. And all those things over and over and over and over. So don't view success as an iceberg illusion. Don't fall for the illusion that success is just given. It's got to be earned. Okay, so now to move into some how-to tip style to get that business mindset that Amy was talking about and I was talking about earlier. So sacrifice your time. Let me think where I was going with this one. Okay, so for me, coming into this business as having a full-time job, I knew right off the bat that I was going to have to sacrifice other things in my life in order to make this business work, because obviously I couldn't sacrifice the time that I was at my job. So I sacrificed my time on my commute. I did no longer use my commute as a time to sleep because I use the train. I use it as a business building time because I wanted to make sure the rest of my life, well, I'm going to kind of talk about that. Yeah, that'll be in business hours, guys. It's coming. Don't worry. So don't spread yourself too thin or you will burn out. If you're a yes person like me, if you have that pearl personality, which I think is kind of rare on this team, but that means like you're fuzzy, you're always saying yes, you're so like, oh, whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. That's how I am, and that is my personality. So I would be saying yes to everything. Yes to all my coaches. Yes to all my challengers. Yes to whatever my husband wanted to do. Yes to whatever my work wanted me to do. And every time I was saying yes to that, I was saying no to my business. And I was saying no to my team. And I was saying no to people that really wanted to work this business and really valued my time. So every time you are saying yes to whatever it is that's asking for your time, think about it. Does it make more sense for me to say yes to this maybe instant gratification? And sometimes it's going to be hard to say no, like to maybe picking up an extra shift at your waitressing job, or like taking overtime at work. It was hard for me to say no to that stuff, guys. Like, I wanted the overtime. I wanted to get the money in my pocket right away. But I knew every time I said yes to that, I was saying no to becoming diamond. I was saying no to building a team. I was saying no to to another power hour I could fit in. So just be really conscious of what you're saying yes to. It's going to be hard to say no to some of that stuff, especially the stuff that gets money in your pocket. But you have to be conscious, and you have to have that business mindset that this is a longevity business and it takes time to build. So you have to sacrifice that time up front in order to reap the rewards later on. I feel like I'm going so fast. So hold on, let me take a breath. Let me take a drink of water. And let me make sure I didn't forget anything on this point. Okay. So yeah, so just push past the instant gratification of saying yes to maybe some things that are fun. Like, I'm 28 years old. I have a lot of friends that still go out, party, want to do all this crazy stuff every single weekend. I do not say yes to that. I say, no, I can't. I have to work on my business. And not everyone gets it. Not everyone takes it serious. And not everyone thinks it's like, oh, they're like, okay, whatever. Everyone has their opinions about it. But remember, whatever time you're sacrificing up front now is just going to allow you to catapult into your business later. Amy, I'm going to be done like so early. Okay. Point 3, invest in your business. Okay, so this is a big one. And I think a lot of people that are coaches, myself included, is kind of like, oh, yeah, well, I invest in my Shakeology and I invest in my business fee. I don't even know if that's what it's called. Whatever the $15 we pay is. And we're like, that's enough. I'm investing in it. And a little backstory about my dad. My dad is a business owner for almost 30 years. And when he was going over my taxes with me, he was like, well, where's your budget? Like, what did you spend monthly on your business? And I was like, I don't know, like nothing. Like, I went to Summit. I told him I went to Summit and I do little stuff for my challengers. And he was like, dude, I don't know why you think you're going to get like this big return with zero investment besides your Shakeology. He was like, your Shakeology is something that you're taking. So think about investing into your business, and really when you say that, like, I know a lot of times people get like, oh, I don't have the money to invest. But remember, this is a business. So you have to think the more value you put into your business, the more you're standing out against other peers, and the more value you're bringing to your followers and all that jazz. So I just recommend keeping an expense log, making sure you're budgeting every month for something that you can invest in your business. I'm not talking hundreds of dollars, guys. I'm talking like, what is something that you could invest each month into your business that you think could move you forward, could make you stand out? Do you have monthly spending for your team? So like Amy has Success Club prizes for everyone that hit Success Club 5 and above, Success Club 5, 10, and all the other crazy Success Club numbers that you guys push out. So do you do that in return for your team? I always give my team Success Club 5 prizes. I always give rank advancement prizes. And then I almost always do a Challenger of the Week. Sometimes I do a bi-weekly Challenger too. So those are not expensive things that I'm investing. Sometimes I just send people a card and like a little cute sticker. But that's monthly spending that I'm spending on my team. I'm investing into my business. Because again, this is investing into your business's future. So some examples of things that you could invest in and things that I have tried that I know some of you have tried as well. Seminars. I know a lot of people on this team are huge on Tony Robbins, UPW. I think it's done for this year, but start investing for next year if you want to go to UPW. Summit. You guys, please, I beg of you, do not miss this event. This is something that should be built into your business expense every year for the rest of all time. This is where you meet your coach, your sponsor, team Set Your Soul on Fire, your individual team. This is where you get invaluable training. This is where you connect. You realize that the coaching community is so much bigger than social media. And not only that, but you can share that with your following. People think we're just sitting behind our computers. Like, they don't know there's 4,000 freaking people on this team. They don't know that. They only know that if you show that, and you can only show that by going to the events and sharing that investment that you made to go to that event with your social media. I'm actually doing something that I shared in the Diamond group. I'm investing. So I got my ticket for Summit paid for this year because I got Success Starters last year. So I'm going to pay for one person on my team that goes Diamond. So there is some type of, they need to reach a goal, and I will pay for them to go to Summit. So think about stuff like that. So maybe you're getting Summit for free this year. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure. Maybe you got Success Starters. Can you invest in a ticket for someone on your team to go if they rank advance or if they hit a certain goal that you guys talk about? That's an investment that you can make for your team. Instagram shout outs. This is something that we learned in the Diamond Dash that I did, and I shared with Amy's PSs, PS coaches. I think I shared it in Set Your Soul on Fire too. I don't know. But so basically, Raina said you need to share, like you need to find other ways to get out on social media. And a good way to do that is Instagram shout outs. But Instagram shout outs are an investment. So you have to be willing to make the investment, guys. Like, it's just the way it is. You're not going to get you could get found on social media, but why not, if you have an epic transformation, share that with people so they can find you. So I think I invested like $50. It might have been $75. I don't remember. I got 148 email addresses from one Instagram shout out. 148 email addresses. Now, this is where some people will get a little turned off. I only sold one challenge pack so far, but I got 148 email addresses. That $75 or $50 or whatever I invested, to me, for 148 email addresses was worth it. I sent out 30 sign-up links for people to join my challenge group. So far, this was on like 5 days ago. So far, only one person purchased. But a lot of people said, I can't right now. Can you follow up with me next week, next month, in 3 months? Some people said, this sounds great. Let me see if I can get a couple of my friends and sign up as a coach. Some people didn't respond. Some people just friended me on Facebook. Like, you got to understand that when you invest up front, you're not always going to get the return right away. Sometimes you might get a couple of challenge pack sales. So if I invested the $50, I am $10 shy of making that back. And I am probably going to be following up with those 148 people for years. So think bigger when you're investing. Try not to be like, well, I invested this much and I only got this much back. Think about what could happen from those 148 emails. You could have your superstar diamond coach in one of those 148 emails, and that would have costed you one Instagram shout out. Flyers. This is something I did when I went to Tampa. I moved to Tampa for a couple months, to experiment with life. And I made flyers and I put them around everywhere. I put them at the YMCA. I put them at the tanning salon. I put them, and that wasn't as big as a success as the Instagram shout out. I think I got 15 emails and then one challenge pack sale from that. But I'm thinking about the 15 email addresses I got, that those will probably turn into sales at some point in the future. And if they don't turn into a challenge pack sale, maybe they just turn into volume. Maybe they turn into a coach. Maybe they turn into anything, guys. An email address doesn't always need to equal Success Club points. I think we get a little bit caught up, and you have to remember that this is a business and Success Club is non-negotiable for sure. I'm not saying that, but I'm also saying you want to learn how to pump that volume. And pumping that volume happens when you get a contact list, when you are building your client list with floods of emails. Challenge pack isn't going to be everyone's forte. Maybe someone wants to do the 3-day refresh, and then maybe they sign up for a challenge pack in a couple months. So be open-minded about just really investing maybe once a month or once every 2 months into your business in whatever something works. So the Instagram shout out worked for me. I'm going to try that again in a couple months and see what happens. Business cards, giveaways, wear and share, all more examples of investing in your business. Okay, I think I beat that one to death. Set business hours. This is what I was talking about earlier. So business hours, especially if you're coming into this with a full-time job or with kids, I think almost with kids it's like even harder. Set business hours, non-negotiable. So find time in your day to dedicate to your business. Again, have a business mindset. If this is something that you want to reap mad returns on down the line, you gotta work it into your schedule. And when you're doing your business hours, guys, you don't always have to think about like cramming in all this stuff. Think about the no matter what. What is the things that's going to move your business forward and is the highest priority for you to get done in the amount of time that you have in your life? Not everyone has the same amount of time. So whatever is a no matter what for you and your business, obviously I would assume the 4 vitals is on there. You want to write that down in your business hours. And then the real kicker is if you don't finish those things and you had time, write down why you didn't finish them. And after writing that down a few times, you might really start to be like, I'm not taking this business seriously because I'm going shopping, or I'm going to breakfast with my friend, or I'm watching TV instead of doing the non-negotiable things that I wrote down that were no matter what things to get done. So you just kind of have to teach yourself that business mindset. I didn't come into this business with a business mindset. Most of us don't. Most of us have never owned businesses before. So be patient with yourself and understand that you're teaching yourself how to create a business mindset, how to create business hours, how to do all this stuff. So have some compassion for yourself and just try to give yourself that, little kick in the butt. Like, well, why didn't I do these things that I wrote down that were non-negotiable to move my business forward? And that will help you to get more disciplined. Create structure in your life. Like a lot of people I know might not have supportive family members or supportive spouses. By setting business hours, one, it shows that you appreciate, you're not trying to have this business take over your entire life, like every single minute. You want to have productive business hours as well, because it will make you feel that progress. It also shows you're serious. So if your spouse is unsupportive, it might be because they don't think you're serious, because they don't see you having set business hours, or they don't see you like really working on your computer and like hustling. They just see you on your phone, watching Prison Break and working through the commercials. So try to understand that business hours is not just a way to keep you organized, to help you teach yourself that business mindset, and to help you feel progress in the business. It's also going to show people that like, I'm not going anywhere. This is for real. I have a business mindset and this is my baby. I'm sticking with this. Okay. And it'll also help you feel sane, which we all need. Number 5, 10x your life. Okay, so I talked about this again in Amy's PS group. I guess I should really like post and set yourself on fire, but I will start doing that. So 10x your life. If you haven't read that book, I know everyone was reading it last Success Club trip, so I'm sure most of you have probably read it. But the question is, have you applied it? Right? Isn't that the question with personal development? So you need to 10x your life, and not just your business activities, but really like your life. Like when you get up in the morning, when you go to sleep at night, what you eat, what you put in your mouth, what you put in your body, what workouts you're doing, how hard you're pushing yourself. Are you 10xing your workouts? Like, are you literally dripping sweat and dying in your workouts? You know what I mean? So you got to raise your standards in life and as a business owner. Remember that word, guys. Business owner. I mean, we're all coaches, but we all own this business. It's a business. So keep trying to say that to yourself to teach that business mindset. So by 10xing your life, you're going to start expecting more out of yourself. You're not really just going to expect one invite a day, one friend request a day. You're going to be like, no, I need to do 10 a day. I need to do 5 a day. Do something to jumpstart it. And maybe you only 10x your life 1 week out of the month. It doesn't have to be every day. It just has to be for a significant amount of time. 7 days of the month, every single month, you 10x it. You go hard. Imagine how much more you're going to build up that client list, how much more no's you're going to get, how much more intense your physical results are going to be. So increase your efforts 10x. If you haven't read that book, I highly suggest doing that. And I think that's kind of all I wanted to say. So, this is important. So when you raise your standards, so when you 10x it, let's say you 10x it for 7 days, these next 7 days that Amy said that you have to hit Success Club 10 by, 10x it. you are going to start operating at such a higher level, and you're going to start feeling the best feeling in this business ever, and that's progress. When you start feeling progress, it builds momentum, and then it's just going to start going and going and going and going, and soon you're going to be diamond, soon you're going to be star diamond. So once you build that momentum, which comes from 10xing it, you're going to start seeing progress and moving forward, which is what we all want in this business. Being stagnant in this business can take you out. So 10x it, you guys. Like, don't be afraid to invite 10 people a day, 20 people a day, 30 people a day, because the more you do that, the more your business is going to take off, and the happier you're going to feel, and the more successful you're going to see your paychecks, your team's paychecks, the volume you're creating. So keep thinking about it from that point of view. And the last thing I want to leave you guys with is a little tough love. And that's, you can't have hobby activities and expect a career coach paycheck. Okay, guys, like, just be real with yourself. And it's okay if you have hobby activities. Just understand it, accept it, and change it. Move on to a career coach mindset, to a business mindset, and you're going to start seeing those career coach paychecks. Okay, that's all I got, Amy. I don't think I can end it all. Oh, there she goes.
All right.
Oh, I just stopped sharing it. That's why.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I got so much from that. And I just wanted to highlight a couple of things that you said that I think that I just want to make sure that everybody is digesting. I actually want to ask the team real quick, everybody in the chat box, I want you to type in the number one thing that you realized from watching this training immediately that you are not doing, that you need to start doing. Because like you said, Ellen, it's not just about, what you learn, it's about what you apply. And I wanted to, so let me highlight a couple things and I want to ask you a question. So, it's the 10x rule and 10xing your life is a lot like, pushing past that red line that I've talked about before, where, it's like that, just like that extra 5 invites, that extra pushing yourself when your eyes are bleeding, you're so tired, do that 10 extra follow-ups, to throw in that 10 extra abs every other day, the 10 minutes of extra abs, to just to do that little bit of extra every single day that's going to add up to the long-term success. And I think sometimes you guys forget that this isn't about going hard for a short burst and then burning out, and then going hard and then burning out. This is about small, consistent actions that you do every day, building up over time. I actually was chatting with a coach today who I signed up a long time ago when I lived in Lake Oswego, and she jumped ship to go sell another product. She has that shiny object syndrome. She kind of always has. And I think how far along she could have been in this business if she would have just stayed consistent and just done those tiny little things every single day that led up to the big success. And I told her, I'm like, you do realize that it's not the product you're selling and that it's you, right? Like, you can't just go and sign up for this thing because it's a new business and that you're going to get in first and you're going to have all this success because it sounds like such a great opportunity when you're the one that's broken. It doesn't matter what you're selling, you guys, or what you're helping people with. If that's the reason why you convince yourself that you need to leave. Because at the end of the day, it's like it's inside of you. The success that you're going to have with this or not with this is all something that you have to develop. And so what we're saying here is that you need to stay focused on this business and you need to take it seriously. And I will tell you that the people that I see jump ship and the people that I see leave the business or go back to the life they had before, the reason why they don't stay around is because they can't be consistent to save their fucking lives. They'll stay consistent for a couple months or even a year and think like, oh, I already put in so much time and energy, I deserved more. I deserved like that. It's that mindset I've talked to you guys about. You have to be very careful about with that, the millennial mindset that a lot of people suffer from, where it's like you should be getting more for what you're putting out. Like, it's that entitlement issues that a lot of people have, which is why they're always going to dabble in things the rest of their life and they're never going to truly find that success. So I love what you guys wrote. I'm so glad you were listening. And I really hope that, you know, you hear what she's saying. And Ellen, I was thinking about you today, and I was thinking about the mindset, you know, what's the difference between the mindset that you had going into Diamond your first time and the mindset that you had going into Diamond your second time? What has changed in that amount of time?
I think the first time I was kind of like almost afraid to shoot for it. Like I was like, my mindset is like I had that feared, like, oh, this isn't for me. I can't do it. And then the second time I was like, why the hell can't I do it? Like, I just had to like bring that momentum. Like I just had to believe in myself. Like I just had to create that belief that other people seem to have so easily, I didn't have. So I just created it. I just believed I like created my own little Tony Robbins. Like like he created Tony Robbins, I created me. So you just have to create your own success story. Like that's all I did. I just really believed it, and I just knew that I was making it a bigger mountain than it had to be.
So if somebody is looking at you right now and they were like, man, I want to create myself into somebody who doesn't give a shit what people think. And I remember that was something you struggled with, and something that, you know, and I really want to put myself out there for real, not the you know, the tainted version that goes through my filter first. How if somebody wanted to step out into their own, so to say, what do you think they could do to wake up tomorrow morning and step out into their own, for like open the door to their house and really step out into the person they need to be?
I mean, you just have to like, that's a good question. You always get me. Coming into your own, it's like a rite of passage. Like you just have to think about looking at either something that means a lot to you. So if that's future kids, or when you're 92, like who do you want to be? What do you think you're going to care about? Do you think you're going to care about your social media that had something that doubted you? Probably not. So just be who you are. Like just step into who you are and unapologetically live your life. And if people hashtag some will, some won't, who cares? Who's next? Like you guys just have to understand that this isn't for everyone, but it is for some people. And if you are out there being your true self, you're going to attract those people. Like I would have never found Amy if she wasn't being herself and being true to who she was. So you want people to find you, and they're not going to find the real you unless you're out there and just being like living your truth. So attract your tribe by being you, and it'll happen. That's all it takes.
It's so simple. Like, you know, like you overcomplicate it. Like, why do we have to put so many rules on ourselves? Why do we have to have so many, you know, check boxes that we have to check off before we can be successful? You know, we put those barriers on ourselves. We put those rules on ourselves. We put that expectation of what success looks like on ourselves. I know I did that when I was a new coach. I looked at Shalene Johnson and Janelle Summers. These are the women who were on the top when I signed up. I mean, picture me coming into this business, right? Not how I look now. I had no tattoos. I had blonde hair. I looked like a basic, like normal Amy before, like me before, with less extravagant and less money to spend on tattoos. And I walk into this business. I didn't know who I was, but the women at the top, and maybe you don't even know who these people are anymore, but they're making a lot of money and they're not recognized very often. But they're seven-figuraires. They have incredible lives. And so it's like Janelle Summers, Christine Dwyer, Melissa McAllister, who else was up there? Barbie Decker, and like all these women who were like career women, and they looked so put together and perfect. And I was like, that's what I need to be successful, you know? And I tried to be like them, and it didn't work. It fucking hurt. It felt like shit. It looked like shit. It didn't translate, and I didn't attract anybody of any substance because I didn't have any substance. Because I was just trying to be what I thought I needed to be successful. So did you ever do that in the beginning, Ellen? Did you ever like look at like other coaches and what they're doing on their social media and like try to emulate them to the point where you weren't even really being yourself? And was there like ever a turning point for you? Because I know this has happened with other coaches, not just me. But was there ever a turning point where you're just kind of like, I'm not going to do that anymore? Like, is there any examples that like stick out in your mind where you're like, why am I doing this? Like, this is like
Yes.
so salesy.
Yes. Like, I think I felt like I needed to share. I felt like I needed to hide the fact that I had a full-time job to attract people that wanted this as a career. And I felt like I wasn't going to be looked at as successful enough, because if I still had to have my full-time job, like obviously in my mind, I was thinking then that proved that I wasn't successful enough to have people want me to be their coach. That was just a total. So I would share stuff that was like total bullshit, like wasn't true. Like I basically pretended that I didn't have a full-time job. And it was like, my husband would even say like, okay, that's like really, like, you're not going to attract anyone that is like you, because you guys, like, as awesome as Amy's life is, you're relatable. Like, you with a full-time job, you as the mom, you with staying up all night working your business at midnight, you are relatable. That is what people relate to. So when you're not sharing the struggles of the business or the work that it takes, you're not going to attract people that want to work. So I just realized, and I think you just told me, like, I don't know why you're sharing like stuff that's not true, basically. So I had to just get over the fact that I was worth sharing. My life was worth sharing. And yeah, like, you just have to share where you're at in the business. Like, everybody's somewhere in the business. Everybody's at some point at the beginning. So you want to share that.
I mean, I think it's easier to find people and be more relatable when like you're early on in the business than where I'm at. Like, sometimes like I feel like sharing what I'm sharing is just like so unattainable sometimes to people. Like, I can't share a lot of my experiences that I'm having because of the business. Like right now we've been celebrating some like personal financial like success in our lives that I can't share because people are gonna be like, like, who do you talk to people about that? Other Beachbody coaches. You go to success and you talk to everybody and you're like, they can understand because they're at the same boat you are. But on social media or into my family even, I can't talk about that kind of stuff. It's just awkward. So my social media is pretty basic to the point where it's like I just share my workout every day. I share a selfie, and I try to be creative and share food and what my journey is all about. So I want to thank you for being so transparent and vulnerable. It's definitely going to get you to the top. Vulnerability and humility are like so important. And I'm so impressed with how organized your training was because it's
thank you.
And so you've got it together, girl. And I can't wait to hang out with you in a couple of days.
Yeah, scuba. Or I can't scuba, snorkel.
We're going to go on a dive boat, and we're going to go snorkeling and scuba diving because Ellen and Jackie and Emma are all in the teal waves. So we're all going to find some excursion and hang out. Yeah. So, all the diamonds, all the new diamonds.
Good to me. Yeah.
So, thank you. Thank you, everybody who came tonight. I really hope that you take to heart what she says, and you do realize that there are breakthroughs that can happen in order for you to achieve the things you want to achieve, and they're waiting, and you can make them happen. So I won't keep you any longer, and I'll see you in a couple days. And if you haven't hit Success Club yet, make sure you listen to her advice with the 10X rule, and you just, kind of just push a little harder, and you'd be surprised what you can achieve. Okay, bye.